Yep, Formula One, it is back in the U.S., putting the spotlight squarely on Miami this weekend. It's already really a season that's delivered as many twists and turns as the street circuit there in South Florida, with four-time defending champion Max Verstappen having a real fight on his hands for that championship with both of those McLaren drivers.
Yeah, and the storylines just keep on coming. 18-year-old Kimi Antonelli grabbing pole for the sprint race later today. Nicole Briscoe anchors our coverage from Miami.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. I roped in a friend to join us for this particular segment, Laurence Edmondson. If you're not familiar with his work, you need to be reading ESPN.com or just check us out weekly on the Unlapped podcast. We call that a plug, and a shameless plug in this business. They mentioned Kimi Antonelli and the history we saw yesterday when he grabbed pole. It is just pole for the sprint race, but he is 18 years old and the youngest pole sitter, no matter the format in Formula One history. He is a rookie, and the things that he's doing this year, why does he continue to impress you week in and week out?
Well, I first heard about Kimi Antonelli several years ago now when he was still in go-karts. And when a driver like that, you start to hear about him in Formula One when he's still running around in go-karts with, kids like 12, 13 years old, they're special. But until they come and do it on the big stage, until they do it with the pressure of a qualifying lap in Formula One, it's not quite complete, but what we saw yesterday was super impressive.
It was impressive, and it's not just been that lap that was impressive. He's been impressive all season long. He's been the rookie to watch. In terms of turning that pole position into an actual sprint race win, what does he need to do today?
Well, he has to keep his calm. I mean, we were told from the start with Antonelli there's going to be highs, there's going to be lows, and his first practice session last year when he was subbing in for George Russell, he put it in the wall in Monza, so that
would be a low.
That was a low, but then we get these highs. And I think, the confidence he's shown, like you said, so far this season, it's there. It's there for him to take if he wants it. It's a shortened format, of course, so it's a little bit easier to keep the cars behind. I reckon he's got what he needs.
And perhaps there will be slightly less pressure from the two McLarens behind him because it is only the sprint race. There aren't as many points on the line, but he does have the two McLarens. It is Oscar Piastri, who he will start next to, and then it's Lando Norris. Those two, what are you expecting from them today?
Well, they're very much in the championship fight already. I mean, it's early days in the season, but we know those two are going to be going up against each other all year. So they don't want to make any mistakes. If you have an accident, a big accident in the sprint, you're going to jeopardize everything going into qualifying. You're going to limit your mechanics' time to work on the car ahead of qualifying. So they're going to keep it clean, I think, behind. But of course, if there's an opportunity, we saw last weekend in Saudi Arabia, Oscar Piastri will take it into turn one.
And Oscar Piastri is the only driver so far this season that has won 3 races. He's the only multiple race winner, at least at this point. Lando Norris came into this season with the championship expectations, in part because of what really started happening for him at Miami last year. He won the race, and that was the turning point, not just in his season, but in McLaren's season as well, in which they ended up winning the Constructors' Championship. There is a feeling that this has to be a good weekend for Lando. What does he absolutely need to do? What does he have to come out of here with this weekend?
So at the moment, what he's lacking is confidence when he's right on the limit. So when we get to that final lap in qualifying in Q3, the car starts doing things that he's not expecting and it catches him out. That's what happened in Saudi Arabia. But what we've seen is that the pace is there. It is underlying. It is there. So as long as he can just kind of keep his cool in those moments, learn the car a little bit in those moments, then the performance is there. But he does need to start taking points back out of Piastri, keep him honest, to remain in the title fight.
So right now it is Oscar leading the championship, and then it is Lando. Real quick, the big news this weekend, Max Verstappen, a new dad, baby Lily. All right, Laurence, thank you very much for hanging out with us. Remember, the sprint race happens at noon today, and then we have qualifying for the actual race, which comes your way tomorrow on ABC. Guys.